I'm Raphael Gorgeu, and I've been engaged in the humanitarian sector for the last 15 years. I've been working in many different countries, and especially in conflict settings, such as Afghanistan, Yemen, or South Sudan. I joined MSF in 2008, and I'm currently acting as Deputy Director of Operation, based in Geneva, Switzerland. Violence is inherent to the work we do as humanitarian workers, and at MSF, we are no strangers to this reality. The dangers for a humanitarian worker of working in the front lines are plenty. It includes not only real physical fatigue and mental exhaustion, but also the real physical danger from being attacked, kidnapped, or killed. With regard to medical assistance, healthcare services in conflict settings are especially vulnerable, as we know. While not a new phenomenon, the latest trends on violence against healthcare indicate an alarming spike in the recent years, especially in fragile states and conflict settings. It is also necessary to understand the overall consequences of such worrisome trend. Indeed, behind each attack on health facilities are tens of thousands of people who are deprived of access to medical care. Increased attacks on healthcare participates in failed health systems, and a failed health system is a tragic situation for any population, whether in peace or war times, but in conflict setting, it is even more so. For instance, women and children become even more vulnerable with regard to health. Maternal health care and mental health support become more critical. Same for services aiming to address the main morbidities affecting children under 5. Specifically, attacks on healthcare stem from various reasons. According to a review MSF did a few years ago, where the top main categories we noted were requests for preferential treatment, violence linked to perception of insufficient treatment, looting and destruction of health centers for economic gain or other reasons, consideration of health structures as part of the battlefield, and persecution of patients or civilians seeking sanctuary in health centers. More broadly, such trends is linked to increased political fear and dehumanization narrative in many contexts that criminalize both health workers and patients. Legal frameworks, treaties, or declarations exist to protect against such attacks. International humanitarian law is a central stone of such frameworks, aiming to protect civilians, aid workers, and health workers in time of conflict. Another example is the UN Security Council Resolution 2286. Following the attack of the MSF hospital in Kunduz in Afghanistan in October 2015, that resulted in the loss of 42 patients and staff, MSF spoke to the UN Security Council, denouncing member states for the non-respect of rules of war. And a decision was taken to pass the UN Resolution 2286 to stop such atrocities in May 2016. But many of such legal frameworks and declarations failed in their implementation and adherence. Lack of respect, lack of understanding, lack of knowledge, contradicting norms, all play a role in this failure. What we need above all is therefore a better respect and implementation of existing frameworks. Finally, it is important to highlight that protection of healthcare is not only about the respect of laws, but of healthcare itself. Protecting and understanding the value of healthcare and medical ethics are critical in maintaining the sanctity of medical action. At the heart is the respect for all life and universal human rights.